Hello from Seoul. It's cold and it's winter, so you must be craving some nice and heartwarming stew. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure you don't want to cook all day for the sip of soup. But don't worry about it. If you invest just 10 minutes, you're gonna taste the best Korean stew that you ever had. Alright, are you guys ready? Let's get started. Today we are making Kimchi Jjigae, one of the most popular Korean stews. And as always, I'm gonna show you two versions, the authentic one and a super simple version. Although I'm gonna share a super simple version, the authentic one is not hard to make or time consuming. So unless you're like super busy to save the world, I strongly recommend the first one. Alright, let's start with the authentic version. For this, you will need green onion, chili pepper, tofu, pork, and of course kimchi. Before we start cooking, we need to talk about a few things here. First, you gotta use well-fermented kimchi. I dare say, no one can make good kimchi stew with freshly made kimchi. Maybe I could, but that's like an absolute truth or something. So if you just bought it from supermarkets, please wait until it gets a little bit sour. I told you already, so if you mess up with freshly made kimchi, I'm not responsible. Second, meat. Today, I'm using pork belly because the fat in each layer will make your broth flavorful. What? You don't have this at the moment? Don't worry about it. You can use other parts like pork shoulder or leg. As long as it has enough fat in it, you'll be fine. Alright, let's prep some vegetables. First, slice some onion into thin strips. Next, chop some green onion into small pieces. If you cut it diagonally like this, that will make your dish more beautiful, like a restaurant. And then the same thing goes for the chili peppers. Just cut them diagonally. Actually, these guys are more of an aesthetic thing. So if you don't have them, just skip them. No problem at all. After that, cut some tofu into nice big chunks and set them aside. Now it's time to prep our star ingredient, kimchi. Cut 300 grams of well-fermented kimchi into nice bite-sized pieces. Here, if you don't have another cutting board only for kimchi, just put it in a bowl and cut it with scissors. Otherwise, because of kimchi stains on the cutting board, I can't guarantee your safety from your mom. You know what I'm talking about. And then chop 150 grams of pork belly into bite-sized pieces. If you don't care about the texture and just want to make it faster, then you can actually use ground pork. But since I have a hungry bird at home who really cares about texture, there's nothing much I can do about it. I really want to live longer. Now let's move on to the seasoning paste. Put 1 tablespoon of Korean chili pepper flakes, half a tablespoon of soy sauce, half a tablespoon of fish sauce, half a tablespoon of minced garlic, and give it a good mix. I know some of you might be worried because of fish sauce, but don't worry about it. You know what? If you know how much fish sauce is in your favorite kimchi, you're gonna be freaked out. So just follow my lead. You're gonna be okay with this teeny tiny amount of fish sauce. Trust me, that's gonna be only full of umami, no fish taste at all. Alright, everything is all set. Let's get cooking. Take out a wok or pot. Place it over medium heat and add half a tablespoon of neutral tasting oil. Once it gets nice and hot, add in the pork belly. Here, you don't have to cook too long until it gets crispy. We just want to render out the fat and get a little bit of a color. So it should be about 3 minutes. And here, I know it smells really nice, so you'll be tempted to eat this. But please don't. Once you have a bite, you can't stop yourself and notice there's nothing left. It's not a Korean barbecue episode. Let's do it later. Now into this beautiful fat, throw in some kimchi and the seasoning paste. We're gonna stir this around for about 6 minutes. Here, you should keep stirring it because chili pepper flakes are so easy to burn. What? It's burned already? Sorry about that. There's nothing much I can do about it, so please be careful. The next step is totally optional, but if you want to make it extra delicious, add 1 tablespoon of lard. Trust me, it will make you feel like you're at a Korean restaurant. Oh, it will. Once it's completely wilted down, add 2 cups of water and a few shakes of black pepper. But instead of just plain water, I'm gonna use 2 cups of rice water that I got from rinsing the rice. Then, because of the starch, it's gonna taste better, but not that much. Now place it over medium-high heat and cook for another 10 minutes. And then add half a tablespoon of dajida, Korean beef stock powder. What? You never tried it? Trust me, it will make it so much better. So you might feel like you just found out the secret weapon of Korean Korean restaurants. And just like any other soup or stew, the longer you boil it, the better it's going to be. So 10 minutes is just a minimum time. If you boil it for like 20 or 30 minutes, the pork is gonna let out more of that fat and it's gonna make it more flavorful. But just make sure you add more water so it doesn't all evaporate. Now I'm gonna transfer it to a tukbaegi, Korean clay pot. Of course you can just finish it in a pot and serve it in a bowl. But if you want more authentic vibes, this bad boy is a must. Once that's done, add some tofu, onions, green onions, chili peppers, and cook over medium heat for about 3 minutes or until it's bubbling hot. Alright, it's done. What? You wanna make it more pretty? Then finish it up with half a teaspoon of Korean chili pepper flakes. See? It looks way better. Alright, let's go to our taste tester. Claire?
Oh my gosh! The sizzling sound makes me crazy. 뽀글뽀글 너무 맛있겠다. 예쁜 모습은 마음속에 잘 간직하시고 섞습니다. 국물 먼저. 딱 봐도 그냥 맛있을 것 같은데. 오, 돼지고기에서 나온 지방이 국물에 샥 녹아가지고 되게 진하고 깊어. 그리고 국물에 그 새콤한 김치의 맛이 느껴지는데 너무 맛있다. 그냥 단순한 스트레이트한 그런 느낌이 아니라 부드럽게 새콤한 게 너무 맛있어. 김치 장인이 만든 느낌이야. 김치랑 돼지고기를 밥 위에 얹어서 국물도 조금 넣어가지고 밥이랑 한 스푼 샥 퍼먹으면 미쳤다. 미쳤어 비주얼. Let me try it. 말이 필요가 없네. 진짜 맛있다. 역시 밥이랑 먹으니까 김치찌개 그 맛이 더 확 사는 것 같아. 너무 맛있어. When I was a little kid, I was not a big fan of kimchi, but still, I was crazy about this kimchi stew, even though I didn't like kimchi. Because when it's cooked, it's a totally different story. So if you're not so sure about this kimchi stew, give it a try. You won't regret it. 그나저나 김치찌개를 끓였는데 계란 후라이가 없다는 게 말이 돼? 김치찌개를 가져와라!
김치찌개?
응! 계란 후라이를 가져와라!
The first recipe was pretty simple and easy, so you can't believe there's even a simpler version. Well, you know what? I can make kimchi stew in less than 5 minutes with this bad boy. But let's spend 5 more minutes and make it properly. For a 10-minute kimchi jjigae, you will need kimchi, canned tuna, and green onion. What? You still can't give up the good presentation? Then just add some chili peppers here. With this, people won't notice it only took 10 minutes. So to reduce the cooking time, we gotta use only the leafy part. And this kind of knife and cutting board is too good for the 10-minute recipe. So I'm just gonna cut it with scissors and put them directly into the pot. Next, let's add 1 tablespoon of Korean chili pepper flakes, half a tablespoon of minced garlic, half a tablespoon of dashida, Korean beef stock powder, 1 teaspoon of fish sauce, half of the canned tuna, which is about 50 grams, and the oil from the canned tuna. Now get that on a medium heat and saute those for about 3 minutes. What's really important here is we should add all the oil from canned tuna. That's the key. When the fat meets kimchi, it creates an amazing flavor. And this is the secret to how we get the best kimchi stew. Alright, it's been 3 minutes. Let's add 2 cups of water and let that cook for about 5 to 7 minutes over medium-high heat. Since I used a very thin bottom pot, I think it's gonna take me only 5 minutes. Last but not least, let's add the rest of the canned tuna and some chopped green onions. If you have any leftover tofu in your fridge, please add it in. It's gonna make it more visually appealing. Now to finish, let's add some chili peppers and a few shakes of black pepper. Like Claire said, kimchi jjigae and a fried egg, they're match made in heaven. So don't forget to serve with some rice and a fried egg. Alright, let's see how it tastes.
Claire. 참치 김치찌개구만? 보통 참치로 만든 김치찌개는 참치가 밑으로 샥 가라앉아가지고 참치가 들어간 건지 안 들어간 건지 모르는데 이건 참치 김치찌개라고 아주 광고를 해놨네. Let me try the broth first. 맛있는데? 나에게 아주 익숙한 맛이야. 우리 엄마가 맨날 해주던 맛. 김치랑 참치랑 잘 섞어서 먹어봐야지. Ready? 고소해. 그 참치에서 나오는 그 고소한 기름이 진짜 김치찌개를 되게 맛있게 만들어주는 것 같아. 이게 짧게 한다고 해서 돼지고기보다 못하다는 게 아니야. 이거 그냥 다른 종류의 김치찌개야. 그냥 이거 나름대로가 너무 맛있어. 그래서 그냥 이건 취향 차이인 것 같아. 나 그리고 꼭 이거 말해주고 싶었는데 참치 비리다고 싫어하는 사람들 이거 꼭 해봤으면 좋겠어. 김치에 양념들이 딱 들어가는 순간 참치의 비린내가 싹 사라지거든. 그래서 나는 이거 너무 강력 추천. 비린내 안 나고 너무 맛있어. I like it.
Today, I showed you how to make kimchi jjigae, one of the most popular Korean stews. As you can see, as long as you have well-fermented kimchi, there's nothing to worry about. It's so simple and easy. So please give it a try. Once you have that sip of stew, especially on a cold day, you will feel like you're in heaven. So what are you doing? Hit the like button and run to your kitchen. Alright, this is it for today, and I'll see you next time.